Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Katarina. Today's video is going to be my August update for my Pan.That palette. Pan.That palette is a project pan created by Amber F, where the idea is to pan a palette. Your goal could be just to get use out of the palette, or hit pan on some shades, or to finish the palette completely, or anything from between. I am panning two palettes this year, so the Ciate London Olivia Palermo eyeshadow palette, this one I have panned since the very beginning of the year, and then the second palette I am panning is the KVD Shade and Light Eye Contour palette. This one I wrote in midway through the year since I needed some mattes with my Ciate palette. This time I feel my update is not necessarily the best. I have used these eyeshadows quite a bit. I think I have worn a makeup look with eyeshadows probably like 20 to 25 times during the past month. There totally have been some days where I didn't wear eyeshadow, but most days I do. And then one of the days that I wore eyeshadow, I did create my look with a different palette. Other than that, I have created my look from these palettes, so I have used them, but I guess I am just at the point with these palettes that I need to put in like extra effort to get some impressive progress. But I'm still happy with the usage during the past month. I do have some exciting goals for the next update, so let's just get into my progress. Let's start with the Ciate palette, since this one has been in this project the longest. So very first, let me show you what my palette looked like a month ago. And this is what the palette is looking like right now. Okay, so I don't even bother talking about all of the shades. This time I'm just going to talk about the shades that I have used and I have some progress on. So the light shimmery peach, I was able to use the product that I had in the lower left corner, and I'm not sure if that was my goal, but I'm really happy with that progress. This is the lid shade that I have worn the most during the past month. From this palette I wore this gold and this rose gold both once or twice during the past month. But the shade that has been mainly my lid shade the past month has been either this shade. This makeup look that I'm wearing today is the way that I have been using this. Or then the another look that I have worn a lot during the past month has been like a really basic all matte neutral eyeshadow look created with the KVD palette. Yeah, next month I would like to hit side pan on the right side of the pan and then start working on one of the corners. Then the another shade that I have good progress on is the matte brown. I do wear this every single time that I wear makeup on my brows, even if I don't wear any eyeshadow. This I will have on my brows for sure. And yeah, there's some pretty nice progress there, but it's still going to take at least 3 months, maybe even 4 months until it will be completely used up. But I don't mind, because it's a shade that I will need every day anyways, and it's handy to have a brow color in my Pan.That palette. But yeah, that is where I am with this palette. The green I wanted to use at least a couple of times during the past month, but I didn't, and I have now decided that I don't want to put any usage goals or anything for that green. If I organically want to reach for it, then that is great, but it's just a shade that first of all I forget that I wanted to use it. It doesn't really work that well on my everyday basis. And then last month I don't think it necessarily worked that well with my lip product rotation products or colors. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with my progress with this palette. And as I said, next month I do want to hit side pan on the peach. Other than that, I just kind of want to use the shades organically. I think I probably will get better usage out of the gold, because I noticed that I'm starting to be quite into it. Let's move on to the KVD palette. So here it is. Let me show you where I was with this palette a month ago. And this is what the palette is looking like right now. Okay, so with this palette I have not hit any new pans, none of the shades is gone yet, but there is pan expansion on some of the shades, so all of the neutral shades I would say, especially this yellow one, which is called Lightus, but even with this one, maybe I expected the pan to expand a little bit more, but it did. And then with the shade Ludwin, that is this peachy shade, I have made pretty good progress on. Today I'm wearing this shade as my blush and as my transition shade, then I'm wearing all of these mattes on my look. And then, as I said, I have been creating a really basic neutral eyeshadow look with this palette, so I have just done this with all of these mattes. Some days I have maybe not worn the deepest one, so I have just used this one in my crease, maybe this one if I wanted to warm it up a little bit, but usually it has been all of these mattes from the neutral quad. So I do have some goals and focus shades for the next month. I do want to focus on Lightus over here. I would like to hit side pan both on the top of the pan and on the bottom of the pan, so that I could start working on one of the sides, either left or right. And then I do still want to keep using these neutrals over here, the other neutrals. However, for the next month I also do want to set this one, which is called Succubus. I don't know how to pronounce that, I really do not, but I do want to set that to be my focus shade. Not because I want to necessarily hit pan or anything, but I noticed that even if I feel like I would want to wear this shade to warm up my look, then I'm kind of feeling that I cannot do it because I need to focus on these that I actually want to focus more this year. If you saw the last update, I mentioned that I probably, when I depot this palette, will keep everything else from this palette except the neutral quad, because these shades I have all over in my collection, and this Succubus shade is actually pretty unique to my collection, so part of me kind of wants to save it, but you know, right now is the season when I'm into warmer toned makeup looks, and I know that I would really enjoy this shade, so it will be officially my focus shade, but I don't have any goals or anything. I just want to reach for it whenever I feel like it. Then of course I do want to keep working on Ludwin over here. This shade I eventually want to use up. It is a large eyeshadow, but since it works perfectly as blush, it's very doable, but I don't think I can do it this year by any means. Then one more goal that I have is that I do want to hit pan on shadows over here, so the black. There is pretty nice dent there and these eyeshadows are rather shallow, so because I do wear this one as eyeliner, I'm today wearing it as eyeliner, I think it's really doable to hit pan, and yeah, I would enjoy having another pan in this palette, so those are my goals for this palette. So yeah, that was my Pan palette update for the month of August. Not necessarily the most exciting one, but the most important thing is that I am using the palettes, I'm enjoying them, there's not hate panning at all. I don't want to hate pan anymore. I have done it enough in the past, especially when I was panning the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. Actually, one of you said in my last update that I seem to be enjoying panning these two palettes way more than Modern Renaissance, and that's right. I enjoyed panning Modern Renaissance very first when I started, but soon after finishing all of my favorite shades, it was difficult shades left. The pinks, for example, and then I felt it's just crease shades. Like I could not anymore create a cohesive look from the palette after finishing the shimmers and tempera. So yeah, it was a challenging palette to pan, and I'm enjoying panning these way more. But that's everything for today. Thank you so much for watching this video and see you in my next one. Bye bye!